Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kais and today we're going to be talking about the Magic Online metagame, what happened in the trophy leagues, and what happened on the Pauper challenges. Also going to briefly discuss Paupergeddon, but I don't have the data for that, so it's kind of hard to talk about it. Before we get into it, check out cardmarket.com if you're the largest seller of Magic Gathering cards in Europe if you want to get some cards out of these decks. Also, make sure to like and subscribe and leave me a comment, and then you know that you can find sideboard guides on patreon.com/calicais and get early access to videos on the YouTube membership. So what happened in the leagues? We had 133 trophies, which is back to relatively normal. Mono red being on top, also normal. Then we had affinity. The next decks were White Weenie, Dimir Fey, and Madness Burn, which is interesting. So it's definitely widening up a bit there. And then we had Jund Glee at 6% and Black Green Glee at 3%. So not really overrepresented, I guess. Looks like a relatively healthy metagame, I suppose. And then if you pull it down to the combined metagame, we have Mono Red, Affinity, and then Jund Glee, and then some other decks fighting for the next spots. So not too complicated. We're seeing a dramatic drop-off of Gruul, which I think is because of the increase of affinity with the Krark Clan Shaman Toxin Analysis combo. We've also seen a lot of this Jund Wildfire deck popping up, which is also playing Toxin Analysis. And then Jund Glee could potentially play it as well. So a lot of hate on the Gruul ramp deck lately. It did just get that Bushwhack card, but it doesn't seem to be very well represented and doing that much, at least in the leagues. So the first spicy deck I wanted to check out was a Mardu Synthesizer by Alfonso 666666. I don't know how many sixes, but they're playing basically the Glinhawk Skyfisher package with Refurbished Familiar. Refurbished Familiar can really punish you with their fast ability to just strip your hand away. And then combining that with Galvanic Blast to close the game. And then they're playing Deadly Dispute Reckoner's Bargain to draw a bunch of cards. It's very, very strong. Singleton Tithing Blade in the main deck, a bunch of random stuff, but Alfonso's a very good player. And this is a 4-color aggro, but it's actually Boros Bully. If you haven't seen this before, it's pretty awesome. I did a video on this deck, and they might be playing very similar to what I was playing, but essentially grab the prize. You can discard a card and draw 2 cards. If it wasn't a land card, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. That means you can discard the Sneaky Snacker and get it back right away, which is awesome. And then Thrilling Discovery does the very similar thing. You discard 2 cards, you draw 3 cards, getting back the Snacker right away. This is a really good way to punish red decks in the metagame, but I'm not certain how well it does versus specifically the Glee decks. We had a person that was able to trophy with Madness Burn that they actually cut the Sneaky Snacker, and I'm not entirely sure what they put in instead, but we have a 1-of Dark Withering, which is destroy target non-black creature for Madness for a black, and then it looks like maybe just more draw spells with 4 Grab the Prize and some number of Highway Robbery, so maybe 3 Highway Robbery and 1 Dark Withering. So they're really just focusing on doing the burn thing. That's kind of sweet. We had a couple of people trophy with Jeskai Ephemerate. This person specifically is playing the energy package with 4 Galvanic Discharge, and then 1-of Jolted Awake and 1 Tune the Narrative to get more energy. Galvanic Discharge is a lot stronger in the early game and can also scale up to beat a terror. So this is a better turn 1 and 2 play than specifically Skred is, especially if some of your mana base is the bridges, and it allows you to play things like Perilous Landscape and just have a little bit of a cleaner mana base, I think. So that's kind of sweet if you're interested in playing control decks. We haven't seen a lot of that. And then what's funny is the spiciest deck of the week here is just Burn again, but they're playing the Thermo Alchemist Burn with Gitu Lava Runner, not playing any number of Tomb Raiders. That's specifically because this is just Pinger Burn. 4 Alchemist, then the 4 Lava Runner as basically your 2/2 hasty guy. Well, they're an Epicure as well. They have 4 End the Festivities main. They really want to beat the opposing burn deck. And then they're able to play 4 Fire Blast because they're not playing any artifact lands. They have 1 Forgotten Cave as a cycle land. It's very simple. And then there's 5 Draw 2s with 2 Reckless Impulse and 3 Ren's Resolves. So if you're interested in Burn, maybe now's the time again. We also can check out the Pauper Challenge wrap-up from Kerblinksy. Definitely check them out on Twitter. This shows Red Kuldotha as the major player in the metagame, very similar to the leagues. Grixis Affinity coming in behind it, and then Jund Brood Scale at 9%, Golgari at 6-something%. Then underneath those are Terror and Fairies and White Weenie. Looks like Golgari had a really good weekend, as well as the Jund deck and Grixis Affinity. So if you're interested in playing, it seems like the Jund and Golgari Glees are very, very strong, and Affinity continues to be extra strong, while as Red Kuldotha being strong also makes people definitely gun for it, so it comes in at a slower ability to actually win, or a lower ability to actually win. In the Paupergeddon, which was really, really fun, and if you haven't checked it out, that is on twitch.tv/Liga Pauper Italia. The top 2 decks were both Jund Glee. The top 8 had 4 Jund Glee in the well, 3 Jund and 1 black-green Glee. And then what I was told was in the top 32, there were 23 decks playing Deadly Dispute. So it's very interesting. I think a lot of people were really pushing to get Glee banned specifically. But when we talked to the top 2 pilots, one person said that they would specifically ban out Affinity, getting rid of the bridges, or just, getting rid of Affinity completely, because they said that Affinity is way too strong and goes over the top of any control decks. They would bring control back to the metagame and could potentially be a foil to the Brood Scale decks. Very interesting to see. So let me know in the comments what you think should happen with the metagame, what you think will happen with the metagame, and what you're having success with. So thanks again for checking it out, and we'll see you in the next video.